Hi there, I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent Training. Welcome to our Word of the Day series, where I've been taking your requests for words you'd like help to pronounce in American English. Today's request was for the word terrorism, and we're going to look at the word terror while we're at it, since both words are similar and have similar challenges. Looking at the word terror, this is similar to the word error, and you can check out our video for the word error to help you with that specific word. It's quite tough because I have to do an air and an sound back to back. So for many people who struggle with the American R, that's really hard. Even for native speakers, words like error and terror require a little bit of slowing down and a little bit of careful precision when we're speaking. First and foremost, if you can't do the American R sound, the sound, you need to be able to build that skill first. Saying a word like terror or error before you have a solid R is going to really be a struggle. So you can use my American R playlist to help you with the R. Also check out our Sounds of English course on speechmodification.com for some lessons that will specifically walk you through how to build a strong American R. So let's look at it. So terror has first syllable stress. We can see that here marked with a little line before the first syllable in the dictionary. And the letters ER actually say the air diphthong. So that's kind of unusual. A lot of times ER will say like in were or her. In this word it says air, so I have to glide from that tense A into my air. So building from air, trying air, tear is going to help you out. Watch out for that T sound at the start of words in American English. It is a true T. We let a little puff of air out, tear. So that's something to be aware of depending on what accent patterns you have. If you don't know what accent patterns you have, one way to find out is to use the free downloads on speechmodification.com. You can look for your native language and you'll see a download that'll show you patterns you're likely to have. We speak with accents because of the patterns from our native language and the sounds. You might be a native speaker looking at terror because, as I mentioned, that is a tough word even for native speakers as well. You probably don't need to worry about the T in that case. But starting with tear, and then our letters OR or shorter and unstressed. And in this word, OR actually says the ER sound. So here's the symbol for that in the dictionary. So terror. You might find it easier initially to break it up. Terror, or build from the back. Error, terror. What you'll find though is that in the long run, I have to go from the air right to the other error. And so the tongue position is, I'm going to stay mostly in that tight sound, and I'm just going to release and go back to it. Error. So it may even sound like building from an initial R. Error. It's not easy, definitely. You might also find that if you do error, that I'm kind of going in and out of that R position. Once I can say terror by itself, I want to try it in some short phrases. He was a total terror. Terror is extreme fear. Also, let's look at terrorism, because that was the actual request from our viewer. By the way, if you have a word you'd like to see as part of the series, feel free to ask in the comments and I'll add it to my list to cover in a future class. So when we add the terrorism, I will look at that as being more like terrorism. I guess we still do have that terrorism. You might see it in the dictionary with the schwa here, terrorism. But I think that that's kind of misleading because I think we still need to do the terror part. When we add the ism, we add terror. It's like the word is. We have the voiced Z sound for the letter S, ism, ism. You might even have a little bit of a schwa sound in there, ism. Just not too long of a syllable. Terrorism, terrorism. You might find this a little easier than terror because you can do kind of a rism and then terror. So I would try with terror, rism. So I guess I can do a schwa there, terrorism. It's just that I don't want a lot of length on that, and I do have to kind of go terrorism. I keep that R through that schwa, terrorism. Okay, trying terrorism in some short phrases. Unfortunately, there's a rise in domestic terrorism in our country. Terrorism has been a terrible plague to the world. We need to try to fight terrorism. Okay, definitely a challenging word. Thank you for that suggestion. And breaking down the word, getting familiar with the sounds, working on your R in different contexts, and trying to approach the word in a new way. Building it from the back, building it from the R should help you to say that word more smoothly and easily in your everyday speech. This Word of the Day video is part of our series on our YouTube channel. We also have a Word of the Day class. It's a free online course on speechmodification.com, and those contain these videos as well as definitions for the words, so you can work on both your pronunciation and your vocabulary. You might also want to check out our Sounds of English course to help you build proficiency with sounds like the and and putting them together. That's also on speechmodification.com. I hope you'll check it out. I'll be back again tomorrow with another Word of the Day class, as well as on Friday we'll have our live question and answer class. And you can attend live, type your questions in the chat, and I'll give you answers. I hope to see you there. Thanks, everyone. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow.